today we are going to talk about chapter 1, which we call the introduction. Introduction of the creativity and the innovation. There is, I'm going to tell you about the main topic of chapter 1. We will study this chapter and explain it together about these following topics. The first topic is about the nature and the characteristics of the creative thinking, and the second topic is about the differences between creative thinking and the other types of thinking. The third one is about the definitions of terms in this chapter, and we will explain the definition of creativity, creative process, and creative product. Then we will go through the criteria of the creative thinking and the product. Okay. First of all, there is a difficulty in agreeing on definitions of creativity. Why? The question is why there is a difficulty in agreeing on definitions of creativity. It is related to many fields because creativity is a word. Creativity related to many fields: engineering, psychology, education, arts. Every field of these fields obtain creativity or creative thinking. We can use the creative thinking to develop a new idea or new product or new solution. So a single definition can suit, there is no a single definition can suit all of these fields. Of course, the acceptance is the second reason why there is a difficulty in agreeing on the definition of creativity. The acceptance of creative product varies over time. Over time is various over time, different from time to time. The acceptance to of creative product are different from time to time. In old time, in ancient time, there is something like refusing any new product, any new idea, they used to stuck with the familiar product, familiar solution, or familiar idea. Third reason is the complexity of creativity. Why the creativity is complex? Because it happened in our minds. It happened in our mind. And by the way, we have two minds, the conscious and subconscious mind. Okay? Four different approaches investigating creativity through, I can define the creativity through defining the creative product, the creative person, or creative process, or environment. Okay? We talk about chapter 1. In chapter 1, full of definition. The most important topics in chapter 1 are the definition, the different definition about the creative component. The creative component composed or content four elements, four main elements, and the fifth is about five elements indeed. About product, person, process, environment, and the fifth one is about the product. When the first four integrated together, they will produce the fifth one, which is product. So we'll start with the definition. The second creativity means means something new, creating something new, anything new. But the question is completely new or relatively new? Completely new, like black and white television, relatively new, like colored television. Both of them is creative product. We can say that for sure. Both of them was is are a creative product. But creativity or creative thinking, we're going to differ between the creative thinking and the other types of thinking. The other types of thinking, many types of thinking, but the most famous types of thinking is the stereotype thinking and the analytical thinking. We will compare between these two famous types of thinking and the creative thinking. The stereotype thinking based on the past experience. Go to the old solution and try to use it in the recent problem. That's mean why? What? That means that I will never create any new solution or new idea or new product because I'm always go to the past and use the solution what I used to, what I'm familiar to. Secondly, the analytical thinking is based on logic. How? Go to the old solutions or products and try to compare between them to get the best one of them according to its pros and cons, to choose the best one. Okay? That means there is no new product or new idea or new solution. But it's better than stereotype because it is comparing between the old solution or product or idea and to get the best one of them. Analytical thinking. Analytical thinking. Okay? So, but how about the creative thinking? The creative thinking is the thinking with unfamiliar way of thinking. It is an unfamiliar way of thinking. No, no past experience, no old solution or old product or old situation or old idea or anything. No, unfamiliar way of thinking. And looking to the thing from different angles. What's the meaning of looking to the thing from different angles? Looking to the problem from different angles. How I can solve the problem from different angles of this problem. Solve it by what? Use what? Which tools I am going to use? Every time I try different tools to solve this problem. Okay? And its main tools is imagination. Yes, this is the big difference between the creative thinking and the other types of thinking. It is based on imagination. What's the meaning of based on the imagination? I'll give you an example. The boat work on the surface of water, but by imagination, for some scientists, why doesn't work under the surface of water? This is the imagination, okay? Imagination of everything to get it a real one. Creativity as a way of thinking, and we differentiate between them. Here some examples of creative idea. Some examples: new product, any new product, new, completely new or relatively new service, the same, new form of organization or companies, new organizational structure. Okay, the organizational structure about the levels of management and the different types of departments, activities, and so on. New way of teaching, like online teaching. It's a new way of teaching. Mobiles, it's a product. Computers, greenhouses, fish farms, undergrounding highways, laser, and others. This is some definitions of terms. There are two trends in defining creativity: narrow sense and the broad sense. The narrow sense is through the ability or combination of ability like flexibility, originality, and something like that. And the broad sense is about the component of the creativity, like a creative process, creative person, creative environment, creative or climate, creative techniques, or something like that. Propose the definition for the creative ability, creative thinking is creativity is the individual capacity. It is not the collective capacity. It is individual capacity for a single person. Individual capacity to generate individual capacity to what? To generate new ideas or new solutions or new products, whatever. The capacity, this individual capacity includes some abilities such as flexibility. Flexibility means looking to the thing from different angles to solve it. To solve it. Fluency to generate more and more and more new idea, new solution, and so on. Originality means the original copy, not imitating any other idea and make it a new idea. No. The abilities are influenced by these abilities, which include in the individual capacity, influenced by personality and environment factor. How to personality? Different person have different personality. The different persons have different personality. So each one, his personality influence his individual capacity. Environment, yes, the environment, which include culture and other factors, for sure, influence the creative abilities. Now we define the creative thinking, and now we go into the next topics uh, is about creative process. As I told you from seconds, that we have two minds: the conscious mind, which is I talking to you with, and the subconscious mind اللي هو بنسميه العقل الباطن. I saw this subconscious mind in dreams only when I'm sleeping. He working 24 hours per day. These two minds working together to produce many solutions, many information, many ideas, many for product and everything. But the creative process, according to it's happened in our mind, it depends on the change in the existing condition. To create something new, it concentrates on the change in the existing condition for any object. They work on how to change this existing condition to make a new condition. Relationship of elements to make a new whole. Change the relationship between elements to make a new whole. The relationship, three types of relationship: cause and results, similarity, contrast. Problem solving اللي هي unconventional or novel idea. Proposed definition for the creative process is about the creative process is a mental activity. Why it is a mental activity? Because it happens in our mind. To combine elements in novel way. The element of the object, the element of the idea, the element of the product, working in our minds to change the relationship between elements to make a new or novel one, which result in better solution, better product, better idea, and so on. So we now talked about the how we study these two topics. We don't finish the definition of terms, but I care about how you study these two topics. The first one is about the natures and characteristics of the creative thinking and how to differentiate between the different types of thinking with comparing with the creative thinking. You must read the book after that because it's full of details. After that, you go through the PowerPoint and study the PowerPoint as a revise to what you read in the book. Okay? So solve the exercise according to its number. Exercise 1 related to chapter 1. So you have to solve the exercise and the assignment and the quizzes by 2 chapters. After that, you will be a very good and full understanding with the topics in chapter 1. The new product I can say that it's a practical new product or a practical product because it's cost reasonable. It has a reasonable cost and reasonable effort to get it and reasonable results. So if the scientist discover a new drugs or medicine for the cancer disease, which cost billions to get one tablet from the well liver. It is not a useful medicine. I can't achieve this one. I can't use it around the world. So it's not a practical discovery. After that, we will go into the criteria or creative thinking, creative thinking of the creative thinking kinds and measurements. The criteria of the creative thinking, two types. Kinds of criteria, objective criteria and subjective criteria. What do we mean by objective criteria? Objective criteria means academic grades, such as academic grades, something I can find, something I can depend on, like certificate, scientific certificate, academic grades, PhD, master degree, and so on, publication review in any scientific magazine, committee reports, and so on. This is the objective criteria. So if I ask somebody to tell me about something, to tell me about certain person, is it a creative person or not? He said some objective criteria like that he highly educated, get a PhD degree. He published three books. He had a lot of publication, researches or something like that. So it's an indicator to this person. But subjective criteria, it is different than objectives. Something I can't feel it or touch it or found it. Depend on opinion. If I ask about any person and if he is a creative person or not, I ask his teacher because she or he loved him or like him. She said, yes, this person is a creative person, but it's just her opinion, his opinion. His parents, his supervisor, all of them just tell me an opinion, a personal opinion about this person. I can't depend on something like certificate or the academic grade or something like that. It's just an opinion. So, if I talk about the measurement of creativity, measurement about the person creativity and product creativity. The sources of information about the creative persons is the person himself. I'm asking him, I'm talking to him to discover his traits, creative traits, on and ask his parent or her parent, her or his peers, teachers, and supervisor to give me an information about if he is a creative person or not. Two areas of measurement. Two areas of measurement. Creative potential, the future here possible. Creative performance. Creative potential with some proposed criteria, the strength of reputation, and judgment of experts. The potential and the actual, the possible and the actual. The actual one is the creative performance. His performance is very, very good. He's a challenge performance. But about the creative potential, it is possible to do something. The products creativity or creative products, examples of products in patent get approved from governmental or central units. That it is a new product, a creative product, publications and idea. Two levels of creative product, two levels of creative products. Higher level, this is the first hand, a new insight, a new insight. Alters the universe of meaning, alters the universe of meaning, new insight production and production. Lower level, the second hand or reproduction and imitating. It is the second hand or the reproduction product. So it is not like the first hand or higher level of product. If you ask me, you have to concentrate on the definitions of terms. You have to concentrate on the criteria, two types of the criteria, subjective and objectives. You have to concentrate on the different types of thinking, comparing with the creative thinking. The proposed definition for each product and creative thinking and creative process and the mechanism of each one of them. To concentrate, as I told you, from 2 minutes or 3 minutes, you have to solve the exercise and assignment and quizzes. But the quizzes is about 2 chapters. Every 2 chapters you will solve a quiz. You will solve a quiz, but for each chapter you have solved the exercise and the assignment. Now I finish chapter 1, which you will give it into 2 lectures. As I told you, the 3 topics of this chapter is very important. Thank you for your time, and I will talk to you later.